An American-made fighter jet just revealed something far more important than a new fuel tank configuration. Taiwan's newest F-16V Block 70 fighters may have gained the ability to operate far beyond the island itself, potentially reaching strategic targets deep inside mainland China, and even flying missions as far as Guam. In a region where military planners obsess over range, endurance, and survivability, that is not a small development. It is a signal that Taiwan is preparing for a very different kind of conflict. And that matters because every military move in the Taiwan Strait today carries consequences far beyond East Asia. What appears to be a routine test flight in Texas could actually reveal how Taiwan, the United States, and China are preparing for the next phase of their strategic competition. To understand why this matters, we need some context. Taiwan ordered 66 new F-16V Block 70 fighters from the United States as part of one of the largest arms purchases in the island's history. The aircraft represent the most advanced version of the F-16 ever built. Unlike Taiwan's existing F-16V Block 20 fleet, the Block 70 incorporates a more powerful radar, upgraded mission systems, improved engine performance, enhanced electronic warfare capabilities, and radar-absorbent coatings designed to reduce detection. This week, one of those aircraft attracted attention after being photographed in Texas, carrying an unusually large fuel configuration. The fighter carried 3 external fuel tanks, along with 2 conformal fuel tanks mounted along the fuselage, according to Taiwanese lawmaker Wang Ting-yu. The aircraft carried approximately 7,844 kilograms of fuel in total, after accounting for operational limitations, reserve fuel requirements, and aerodynamic drag. The aircraft's estimated maximum range reached roughly 2,200 nautical miles, or about 4,100 kilometers. That distance is significant. It potentially allows the aircraft to reach Guam or travel to Beijing and return under ideal conditions. But the real story is not the number itself. The real story is what this reveals about Taiwan's changing military strategy. The first major revelation is that Taiwan is prioritizing endurance as much as firepower. For years, discussions about Taiwan's Air Force focused primarily on fighter numbers. Analysts debated how many aircraft Taiwan possessed compared to China's rapidly expanding fleet. But modern warfare is not simply about counting airplanes. It is about determining which aircraft can remain operational longest during a crisis. China possesses one of the world's largest air forces, supported by hundreds of modern fighters, airborne warning aircraft, refueling tankers, and an extensive missile network. In any prolonged conflict, Taiwanese aircraft would face immense pressure to disperse, relocate, and survive repeated attacks. Range becomes critical under those conditions. An aircraft capable of flying longer distances can operate from alternate airfields, reposition rapidly, and remain in combat longer. The addition of conformal fuel tanks provides extra fuel without occupying weapon stations. Unlike traditional external tanks, conformal tanks create less drag and allow the aircraft to retain more of its combat capability. In other words, Taiwan is not simply buying better fighters. It is buying fighters designed to survive a longer and more demanding war. But endurance alone does not explain why this configuration matters so much. The second revelation is that Taiwan appears increasingly focused on strategic depth. Strategic depth means having room to maneuver during a conflict. Taiwan faces a geographic challenge because the island sits only about 180 kilometers from mainland China at its closest point. That leaves limited space for military operations. The Block 70 changes some of those calculations. With a range approaching 4,100 kilometers, Taiwan's fighters can potentially operate across much larger portions of the Western Pacific. They can connect more effectively with Allied forces, reach distant logistics hubs, and maintain operational flexibility even if frontline facilities come under pressure. This becomes particularly important when considering Guam. The island serves as one of America's most important military hubs in the Pacific. It hosts airfields, naval facilities, logistics infrastructure, and strategic bombers. Any conflict involving Taiwan would likely place enormous importance on maintaining connections with locations such as Guam. The ability to cover those distances does not transform the F-16 into a strategic bomber. However, it does expand operational options available to military planners. And that leads directly to the most important revelation of all. The third revelation is that Taiwan's military modernization is becoming increasingly integrated with broader American strategy in the Indo-Pacific. The F-16V Block 70 is not a fifth-generation stealth fighter like the American F-35 or China's J-20. However, it remains one of the most capable fourth-generation fighters currently in production. Its advanced AESA radar allows pilots to detect threats at greater distances. Enhanced computing power improves target tracking. Modern electronic warfare systems help pilots operate in heavily contested environments. Most importantly, these aircraft fit seamlessly into American operational concepts across the Pacific. The United States has spent years building networks of bases, logistics hubs, surveillance systems, and allied partnerships stretching from Japan to Australia. Taiwan's new fighters strengthen its ability to function within that larger security architecture. This does not mean Taiwan seeks offensive operations. Rather, it reflects an effort to create a more resilient defense posture capable of enduring the opening stages of a major conflict. And that resilience may prove more important than any single missile or radar upgrade. So, what does all this mean for the region? For Taiwan, it represents another step toward building a more survivable military force. For the United States, it strengthens a key security partner located at the center of the Indo-Pacific. For China, it adds another challenge to any military planning involving the Taiwan Strait. More broadly, it highlights how military competition in East Asia continues to evolve. Countries are no longer focusing solely on acquiring new weapons. They are investing in endurance, logistics, connectivity, and operational flexibility. Those factors often determine the outcome of modern wars long before the first shot is fired. And for the rest of the world, this matters because the Taiwan Strait remains one of the most important economic and strategic corridors on Earth. Any disruption there would affect global trade, technology supply chains, energy markets, and international security. One photograph of an F-16 in Texas may not look historic today, but it offers a glimpse into how tomorrow's balance of power could be shaped.